Season 3, House of the Dragon. Some leaks. Now, of course, just like any leaks, these may be true, they may not be true. Number 1, Hugh, Ulf, and Adam met with Alice Rivers. Sorry, I got distracted. And all 3 will have the same visions that Daemon had last season. They won't understand their visions, and each will deal with them in different ways, creating their own ambitions. Okay, I think this is real. I mean, it's kind of spoilery, kind of not. The book's been out for a long time. Also, the show doesn't follow the book, so Hugh and Ulf end up being shady. Adam does not. So having them have visions would probably speed up the process of their decision to either be faithful or not. I could totally see them doing that. I think it's going to irritate a lot of people because we spent so much time at Harrenhal in season 2. That is my personal opinion. It will probably be visions of, hey, if you just take your dragon and go, you could rule the world, and it will probably be that. I feel like this is real. I think that's how they're going to have Hugh and Ulf decide to do their own thing and Adam be faithful. And that's going to be a very quick way to get that done. Because, not that many episodes. Like I said, I do think people are going to get irritated because we spent so much time at Harrenhal last season. I don't see people being really happy about that. But I don't think they really care if people are happy. So I feel like this will happen. No matter how bad season 3 of House of the Dragon is, I will be here. I'll be here with all different types of dragons. And it'll be okay. We can hug it out. Okay? I will be the constant that you don't have in anything else. Is that true? It's pushed to winter? We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. We are done. We are completely done. We're cooked. 30 minutes. And there's only 6 episodes. And it's been pushed to winter. So that means the actor that plays Egg will have children by the time the 2nd season is made. I don't know what to say, and that rarely happens. We are so... It's fine. I'm just gonna have to start going to more Comic-Cons and Ren fairs and listening to people cry. Look at the pretty dragon. Don't think about that. Number 2, House of the Dragon. The tension between Prince Jace and Ulf will increase, and amidst the chaos in the Battle of the Gullet, Ulf and Silverwing will attack Jace and Vermax, causing them to fall. I think these are real. I really do. I'm not kidding. Because you know how Ulf and Jace had that, beef? I think this is real, y'all. I think this is legit. So, Ulf is going to be the reason that Jace is taken out. That'll be satisfying. Nothing beats a Jetsu holiday. There is supposedly an alien mothership coming this way. You know what? We need to welcome them. Matt Smith was cast in Star Wars. That's correct. Depending on when they film it, it could be a conflict with House of the Dragon. You know what? That might be best for him, actually. All right, number 3. Aemond, knowing that Rhaenyra would take the Red Keep, orders Maely's skull to be placed in the throne room when he leaves King's Landing, and leaves a note addressed to Rhaenyra. So Aemond knows that Rhaenyra's going to take the Red Keep and orders Maely's skull to be placed in the throne room, and he leaves a note to Rhaenyra. What do we think that is? I mean, that's what they do with the skulls. I mean, they're either a Dragonstone or the Red Keep. So I guess he's probably going to leave a mean note that's if you want this to happen to the rest of your posse, then, you know, it might be a darker version of what Alicent says. It could probably say something like, you know, yeah, you got it now, you're not gonna keep it, and when you're eventually unalived, I'm gonna do something to your ear. Something like that, because he's psychotic. Next. Really? Really? I mean, it's, you know what? I'm fine with it. It's just a joke now. It's fine now. It just makes my show look better. So thank you. After Rhaenyra's entry into the city, Dreamfire will react aggressively to the arrival of Syrax and the other dragons of Team Black in the Dragon Pit, attempting to attack them. Dreamfire will be chained to calm down and remain under control. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I would like to take a moment for a PSA. Apparently these people aren't aware, but I've always said it's very important to free range your dragons. I know about the pyramid, okay, and I understand. I'm gonna let them out. Don't bring that up. It's a sore subject. As you can see, there are many dragons in the background here that are all free range. I can give you many reasons as to why that is a better way to grow a dragon. Okay? They can feed themselves. They have a more varied diet. They also have exposure to vitamin D from the sun, which that's going to be good for the scales, okay? Dragons are like fish. You put a fish in a tiny tank, you got a tiny fish. You put a dragon in a tiny area, you get a tiny dragon. You let them out like this, you get a nice, big, healthy dragon. Okay? And here's the thing. If they're out and they're having like a varied diet, you gotta think about it like this. Okay, do you think that the dragons can get tartar on their teeth? Of course they can. So, if they're out and they get a goat and the goat is in dirt and some of that dirt gets in there, that's actually cleaning their teeth. Then they're crunching up the bones, it's cleaning their teeth. That's heart health for your dragon. Everybody knows that, right? Don't put your dragon in any kind of pit. And don't bring up the damn under the pyramid thing, okay? I'm working on it. That was a whole propaganda thing. That wasn't my fault. There you go. See? That's a healthy dragon. That dragon is free. A dragon is not a slave. I am fine with number 5. Rhaenyra and Adam help Rhaena tame the wild dragon's sheep stealer. Okay, I have no problem with that. Because some people were thinking that Rhaena and Rhaenyra might have beef because Rhaena doesn't go with Rhaenyra's kids to protect them. So there was a rumor that Rhaenyra and Rhaena were going to have an issue. I would much prefer that. I'm going to say I hope 5 is true. So there's 1. Next. Okay, now this is a rumor that I've heard before. Rhaenyra, after arriving in King's Landing and sitting on the throne, will off Otto's head, and that will make Daemon very happy. I don't see any reason that couldn't happen at all. I know some people have a problem with that because of Fire and Blood, but that's unreliable narrator territory. I think they're trying to give Rhaenyra a more active part, probably. The thing is, the Rhaenyra in the show and the Rhaenyra in the book are different. And a lot of people on Team Green bring up the fact that Rhaenyra doesn't fight. So, if they have her do that to Otto, it wouldn't surprise me. It's not going to bother me. It makes sense. She would see him as the catalyst for like so much. You know what? I bet that's true. That's why we saw her with a sword. Rhaenyra and Baela participate in the Battle of the Gullet, and Adam saves Prince Joffrey and Aegon from the Triarchy. Okay. Again, I can see that. I don't think that's really problematic, I don't think. Will people be angry? Yes. Because there are going to be people that are going to be irritated because Rhaenyra doesn't participate in any battles in the book. That also changes the stories for Joffrey and the other Aegon. Like, we don't have enough. But again, like, I don't mind it. No, I'm done. Never mind. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I am done. I'm done. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Please. Really? If this is true, I will go live as this character and I will act batshit crazy. God. After being captured by the Triarchy, Prince Viserys will be bought by Melisandre, who will make a single appearance in the series and will give Viserys to a family to adopt him. Well, then why don't we just go ahead and make it as bad as possible, have Alice and Melisandre in a witch fight? We might as well. I mean, you know what? If Clarice wants to do it, girl. Do it. That's fine. Sure. That's House of the Dragon basically admitting they can't stand on their own 2 feet again, by the way, there. Yeah, you had a crappy season 2. You thought you could have a fake Daenerys and it would save everything, huh? Didn't work, did it? Now you're gonna bring my witch in? You're gonna borrow my witch? Your witch isn't enough? You need my witch? So your witch is not enough. You need my witch. Okay. It's fine. Admit that you can't stand on your own 2 feet. It's fine. Look, as long as they don't have some dumb reason for her to be topless. Boy, will we get a wonderful blog post from George. Is this like a backwards redemption for Mel? Like, she's saving a kid? Is that supposed to make up for Shireen? Yeah, look, I've decided to go full Aries. That's my dad. Burn them all. That was good timing. Burn them all. Burn them all. Burn them all. Just burn it to the ground. All right, number 9. Helena will, fighting against Ulf. What? But the rumor does not specify whether it will be in King's Landing or in Tumbleton. Ulf will want to usurp the throne for himself, and Helena, knowing this through her visions of the future, will sacrifice herself for Rhaenyra in a dragon battle. Alright, let's think this through, okay? Alicent's a horrible mother. And Aemon and Aegon are not being incredibly kind to her. Rhaenyra in the show is very maternal. Helena never had that. Okay, alright, no, I'm kinda... But they did have Rhaenyra specifically bring up Helena to Corlys, remember that? And some people took that as an insult, and it wasn't an insult. Rhaenyra was basically saying, no, Helena's not gonna go out and hurt people on her dragon, that's not who she is. Some people took that the wrong way. I don't want House of the Dragon to do poorly, I don't. Because if House of the Dragon does poorly, then that's gonna, like, seriously affect the future and what we get in the future. And I would like us to have a non-dead fandom. The thing is, okay, here's the other thing. So far, we haven't seen Helena have anything to do with her dragon, which is odd because she actually spent a lot of time on Dreamfire in the book. So, okay, that's feasible. You know, I think it's going to be shocking, though, to show-only people. Yeah, we saw Dreamfire once. I think just once. We saw pissed-off Dreamfire protecting a clutch of eggs. Why do I know that? Because you can tell by the picture that Dreamfire resembles my dragons. Because this is their biological mom. It's complicated. Like, Dreamfire laid the eggs. I hatched them and fed them from my breast. But she laid the eggs. So I have a lot of appreciation for Dreamfire. Now, there's going to be some angry people that she sacrifices herself for Rhaenyra. I'm a big fan of Dreamfire. I like Dreamfire a lot. Now, the show wanted to imply that Syrax is the mother of my eggs. No, that's not how it rolls. You can tell Syrax doesn't look anything like my kids. Number 10. Hugh will ally with Aemon and Daeron, making a deal with them, betraying Rhaenyra, and together with their dragons Vhagar, Vermithor, and Targaryen, they're gonna burn Tumbleton and Rhaenyra's army. That's probably true. I mean, we knew Hugh was gonna flip anyway. I have no problem with that. I mean, cause Aemon's crazy. Daeron finally shows up, and then we know Hugh's gonna flip, so, yeah. The vision that Alice gives him, it probably has something to do with his daughter. Because isn't Hugh the one that's got the sick kid? I have a feeling it's probably that. Alice probably gives him a vision that if he aligns himself with them and wins, then he'll probably have money and access to better things and medicine and stuff. It's probably something like that. He's trying to be a dad and, like, in a very bleak time. Rhaenyra will not order Adam's execution. She will trust him after he saves her children in the gullet. Okay, yeah. I see that happening, yeah. I do. I think that's true. I think show Adam and book Adam are real similar. I think the version of Rhaenyra that they have created for the show, I think it would look weird if she did that, so I can see this change. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Now in the book, like, we get the opinion that it's like she's real paranoid, which is kind of understandable too. You know? Because she also wants Nettles gone. Because, I mean, it's the whole thing, like, before the dragon seeds, like, it was thought, you know, you had to be a certain type of person and not just some rando to have a dragon. And so from Rhaenyra's perspective, at that point, after being betrayed, she's thinking, I should never have let rando people have dragons. They're probably all bad. But at that point, she's lost a lot, and she's probably got a lot of stuff going on, and it's not like, you know, a maester's really going to do a lot for you. So, you know what I mean? I really like the actor that plays Adam, too, so, but I wonder, like, what's going to happen to him. Number 12. After the Butcher's Ball, Criston Cole and Gwaine will be taken to King's Landing, and there they will be executed by Daemon. Okay. I don't really see any problem with that. I don't think that causes any huge issue. It's going to be a very dramatic ending for Criston and Gwaine, and then Daemon gets to have, like, a Daemon moment. So I'm fine with that, sure. 13. Interesting. Alice Rivers will manipulate Aemon by seducing him. Okay. We already thought that. Here's the interesting part. And will maintain contact with Daemon through the Werewoods. Does that mean Daemon's pimping her out? Is that what that is? So is Daemon pimping her out to distract Aemon, I guess? So we have Daemon Targaryen, Pimp Master. Sure. I would assume he's gonna pimp out the witch to distract Aemon, One Eye. Okay, the final scene of season 3 will be the reunion between Aegon and his dragon Sunfire. I see that. Yeah, that's possible. I could see that, because it's been kind of weird that the only thing I think we got from Aegon is him saying that his dragon's dead, which doesn't make any sense unless they're just totally going off book, which, they do. So I wonder if that means they're going to be reunited somewhere else. Or are they going to be reunited when he comes back? Maybe? Okay, if they're going to do that, then I don't want to see Sunfire being forced to fly injured. I hope they could just have Sunfire, obviously not going to be perfect, but I don't want to see Sunfire like limping and that's sad. You know what though? If that is what's happening, then the end of Rhaenyra is going to be different, because if you think about it, did anybody watch the lore video about Rhaenyra's end and it's animated? I think Viserys is in My Brother Viserys is the one that's narrating that. Here's a dragon.
The Dance of the Dragons. A stupid name for a Targaryen civil war where my ancestors danced away my birthright.
It's animated. It was a bonus feature on one of the Game of Thrones DVDs. But obviously it's, it's on YouTube. You see Aegon and he looks very angry, like a half-dead king and a mostly dead dragon. That's not the line, but it's like that. So you get the feeling that it's just anger and bitterness, and then Sunfire is just barely alive and he doesn't give a shit. If this is the case, I see that being different, and that scene's not going to hit like that, because they're not making him as unlikable as in the book. Okay, this is my problem with that. Okay, season 1 Aegon did some things that are unforgivable, and then in season 2 they made him more likable. We saw him, with his kid and joking around with some friends and all that. But what he did in season 1 was so bad, it's very difficult to change your opinion. Your brain feels kind of what? Huh? Okay, I don't like that. If y'all wanted us to like him, then he shouldn't have assaulted people. And then the whole kids and the kid fight club thing. Alright, but as of season 2, they are definitely making Aegon more likable than he is in the book. Okay, so I would assume they're going to continue with that. And this kind of tracks with that. An emotional moment of him and his dragon. If that's the case, then I think the way Rhaenyra goes out is going to be different. They've definitely humanized him. So if he has an emotional moment with Sunfire, then I have a feeling all his other scenes are going to be different. If it ends up being a really, really difficult to watch scene, and Sunfire is forced to do that and doesn't want to, that's going to be so brutal, y'all. That's going to be so brutal. And y'all know, I've said this before, I'm worried that House of the Dragon is going to end and be so bleak that people that are show only are going to be I'm not watching anything else in this universe. It hurts too much. I would not blame them for that either, at all. This is why I wish that the second show had been Conquest. This is why. Because this is, it's a cautionary tale, is what it is. Also, Fire and Blood was written so Daenerys has a fleshed out backstory. That's the whole reason it exists. It's just to explain her family and why there aren't any dragons and why she's important. And Jon, too. Who said that? That's so weird. Don't be rude. I think these are real. I think they're real. Some of them are weirder than others. But the Melisandre one is just... But they've been trying to do some kind of connection to Game of Thrones, like, anytime they can. Which, I wish they would... I don't have a problem with that. Like, make sure people understand it's in the same universe. But, like, you can do that with castles and stuff, man. A lot of people just refer to Ryan Condal and Sarah Hess as like Dan and Dave 2.0, which is kind of opposite. Dan and Dave took a nosedive when they ran out of source material. Ryan Condal and Sarah Hess have source material and can't follow it. So it's kind of the same and kind of opposite. I don't know. I don't. 30-minute episodes for Night of the Seven Kingdoms is like, just makes you wonder, like, what? I had the best idea. Do you know who I wish had done House of the Dragon or was doing Conquest? Michael Hurst. Michael Hurst did Tudors. He did Vikings. He also did both of the Elizabeth movies. Oh my god. If I could pick, Michael Hurst is so good at adapting for film or screenwriting. He's so talented. By the way, if you haven't seen it, I posted a TikTok with Sarah Tonin, who is my friend, who's an author. She's incredibly talented. She had an idea to do a TikTok with Rhaenyra and Daenerys, and she's beautiful. Please check that out. Follow her if you don't. Never heard of House of the Dragon? It's okay. Have you heard of Game of Thrones? That's all that matters.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to be notified of new content and podcast episodes.